Okay, let participants join.
Yeah, I see the 17 of them right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, they're joining.
I hope my screen is visible.
It is.
Yes. Hello, participants. Warm welcome for today's webinar. Very good afternoon, good morning. We will wait for more 5 minutes to let all other participants join. Once we have everyone, we will start the webinar by 1:05 p.m. sharp. Students, if your friends have not joined yet, kindly please ask them to join as early as possible because we will start the webinar very soon now. Okay, it seems students are still joining in. Meanwhile, we have already started the recording. So we will start the webinar for today. So hello everyone, I'm Suraj Gajbiye and I'm welcome you to today's webinar on 3D experience creative. a creation session 2, 3D Excites Creative session 2. And I would like to share you the information about today's host. And I'd love to uh, introduce them because they were once upon a time they were like you participating in Akruti, attending the webinar, and today they are a part of Dassault Systems family and presenting a webinar in front of you. So I would like to welcome Pradnya Bagul. She is a creative designer at 3D Excite Dassault Systems with extensive experience in staging, CAD preparation, layering, rendering, and post-production. Over the course of her career, she has contributed to multiple high profile client projects across leading automotive companies, bringing creativity and technical precision together in her work. Her journey with Dassault Systems began during her mechanical engineering studies, where she actively participated in design competitions such as Agruti and Project of the Year. Winning Akruti in 2021 marked a turning point, leading her to an internship at Dassault Systems, which later converted into a full-time role. Since 2022, Pradnya has been actively hosting and volunteering for Akruti, driven by her passion for sharing knowledge, mentoring students, and inspiring young innovators. Welcome once again, Pradnya.
Thank you, Suraj.
But along with Pradnya, we have another speaker for today, Mr. Ayush Agrawal. Ayush Agrawal works as a creative designer and technical lead at 3D Excite Dassault Systems, where he leads a team that supports global automotive clients by creating high quality, product correct marketing content such as realistic visualization, web configurators, AR VR experiences, and more. Ayush's journey with Dassault Systems began through Akruti itself. In 2019, while pursuing mechanical engineering, he participated in Akruti and emerged as one of the winners. With a deep connection to Akruti, Ayush is passionate about giving back to the same community that provided him with so many opportunities and is here to guide the next generation of innovators. So, hello, welcome again, Ayush Agrawal.
Thank you, Suraj. Glad to be here.
Okay, so moving forward, we will be starting with the today's session on the 3D Excites creative session. So, I would like to take Pradnya the control about today's session.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, afternoon, evening. So today, me and Ayush are here to explain you. It is our second session. I hope you have attended our first session where we started learning about creative experience. So I kindly ask Ayush to start with today's session.
Yeah, thank you, Pradnya. And again, welcome everyone. So as Pradnya said, this is a extension to the first session that we had on 17th of August, meaning 2 weeks before. In the first session, I'll just get a quick recap what we did. So in the first session, we learned some basics and theory about rendering, animation, why creating visualization for your product is important to showcase your product, pitch your product in a visual and creative way. That is what something we saw in this at the start of the session. Then we dived into 3D Excite creative experience application, which is available to you all on 3D Experience platform as a role. And we also saw how to request the role so that you can have access to this platform where you can perform all of these creative activity like rendering, creating visualizations, animations, different product experiences. Then we saw how to export your 3D product from SolidWorks or any other CAD software or modeling software that you might be using so that you can use it in Creative Experience. And then we saw how to import it in Creative Experience on the 3D Experience platform. So now you have exported your product, you have imported your product into the Creative Experience platform. Then we also saw some basics of the UI of the Creative Experience app. And then we saw how to how to create cameras, how to apply materials. So this is all a recap about the last session that we had. If you still want to take a look at it again, or you have not joined in the last session, I would really recommend to go back and check the recording of that session. Apart from the recording, we also have already released another video, which is called end-to-end video for your 3D experience, 3D Excite creative experience. So that end-to-end video, it covers start to end of a product, how you can import, export, create experiences in creative experience platform. So that is something that you can also check. Now, coming to today's session, what are we going to see? We'll have a brief recap of how material application was done on our product. Then we'll see some behaviors and animations, for example, turntable explode. We'll also see some natural language coding and UI action. We'll see uh, some examples of rendering of your product in the creative experience app, and then something about the video recording and animation export from your product, uh, so that you can use them in your product pitches and the presentations that you are submitting for for this contest. So that is all about the past and what are we going to see today. Now we have Pradna as the expert who will be sharing her screen, taking you around each and every topic. So Pradna, it's the stage is yours. Please take ahead.
Thank you, Ayush,
Yeah.
and also thank you, Suraj, for giving us our beautiful introduction. As you have heard, me and Ayush were both part of Akriti in different years. I was a winner of 2021, and today I'm here to share with you the favorite part of my journey, which is staging of a product, which is something I also do in my daily work today. I do it for companies such as Hyundai, Mahindra, Tors, and also Apple Vision Pro. So it is a very important part of storytelling. Last session, we got to know about storytelling and what exactly is needed. So today we are going to start what is staging, what are materials, what are camera, what is lighting, what is rendering, and also we are going to do some very fun stuff today. So I hope you all are present physically and mentally both, so that you could listen to everything and you can take a note wherever needed what animation or what sequence is important for your product, which you can incorporate into your presentation. So staging is about how you arrange and present your model in a scene so that the design looks clear, attractive, and meaningful. So even the best product can lose its impact if it isn't staged properly. So, focus on design is what we primarily do. Staging ensures that distracting elements are minimized and the viewer's attention goes directly to your product. Second, we go with context and storytelling. So, product staged in the right environment, like a car on a road or a medical device in a clinic setting, helps judges imagine its real world use case. And then we go with balance and composition. The placement of the product, background, and props creates a visual harmony and professionalism. You highlight your key features by carefully choosing staging such as angles, background, and scaling of your product. So I see there's a comment in a chat where you are asking if you can add humans. So yes, there is a feature where you can add a human beside your product. The human can walk, it can interact with your product. We can look at it later. So yes, scaling is very important. Now suppose if your product is of this size and your human is this size, what if the scaling goes wrong? Your humans become this size and the product is this. So it's vice versa. The product is huge and the human is very tiny. Let's say you're working with an environment. I want to show my product sitting beside an apple. It's a very small product and I want to show as it is the size of an apple. Now, what if you keep apple and your product? So the scaling is very important when you add additional features. So only if your product is visible, scaling won't matter much. But with the environment and with other objects, your scaling will matter. So you need to emphasize your innovation and usability. And first impression always matters with your product. Proper staging creates a polished industry level presentation that sets your design apart from others. So today we will start with design competitions such as Akruti. How can you benefit out of them? How can you learn out of them? So the technical idea is only one part of the story. How you present it visually is equally important. So we start with materials. The right material definition, such as metal, plastic, glass, or fiber, will make your model look realistic and convey how it might behave in the real world. So, for example, a car designed with a dull paint, it won't have proper lacquer. There is no proper shine to your material. Won't be as convincing as one with a glossy metallic automotive paint. When we ask about lighting, good lighting brings your design to life. Please make a note of this. Good lighting will always bring your design to life. It highlights the key features, sets the mood, such as professional, futuristic, friendly, eco friendly, etc., and ensures viewers don't miss the important details of poor lighting that can make even a great design look very flat. Cameras, camera angles, and movements guide the viewer's eye. So they tell the story of your product. Camera will always tell the story of your product, whether you want to emphasize elegance, strength, or functionality. A well set perspective can communicate scale, usability, and aesthetics in few seconds. And last, which is rendering. This is the final step where everything comes together. A high quality rendering transforms your CAD model into a realistic image or animation, which will allow judges and audience to truly imagine the product in real world. So together, these elements don't just make a model look nice, they help you communicate your design intent, usability, innovation clearly, and in competition setting that can make the difference between a project that is noticed and one that is unforgettable. So there is a huge difference between these two. So now I'll start sharing my screen. This was all about what you are going to learn today. I'll just quickly start my machine and start sharing. So this is a sample product which me and Ayush have been using to showcase you our work. This is an e-scooter built by Ayush. And in previous session, we have already learned about materials, but today let's have a recap. Suraj or Ayush, can you confirm if my screen is visible?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Perfect. Give me a moment. Okay. So let's start with basic material application, which we have already covered, but let's do it again. So I'll just quickly brief about creative experience. This is the app. This is what you will notice first. You can search for your product name or your experience name. If you click on this and hit on search, as this is a unique ID, you will see only the product which you have searched for. And when you open it, this is the UI. This is my product. Here there are 3 4 columns for actors, for environments, for storytelling, resources, collection, templates, and commercial twins. You will get to know about them much in detail. This is how your product will look. This is a scene tree or project property. And now, because I want to start with my materials, I will go to my scene, my object. I will go to its properties. So here you will see properties of your product. And with the drop down, when I click on open, it will guide you to rendering scene design. So what is rendering scene design? It is an application which we are using to apply materials. This is how my product is looking in rendering scene design. I have already applied 3 or 4 materials in previous session, which are already here. But let's have a recap. When you go into this column of rendering scene design, you have apply material, pick and apply material, remove material, create and apply, duplicate, create material from substance, and create material from AXF file. So we start with the basics, create and apply material. We always use a covering material. Now we take the basic ones. Why? Because if you go into metal, so the properties which you can control will decrease. For this basic material, you will have multiple properties to control. Now, just to make my scene easier, or just suppose I am working today and Aish is going to work tomorrow. So I don't want to confuse him with some random names which I give to my material. So if I'm making plastic, so I'll write plastic underscore. Now I want it to be red color. So this is the best practice which we follow. So to avoid confusion later, or you can also do it as red underscore plastic. You can select your material, covering, go to 3ds PBR and just hit OK. Now it will automatically select your material. It is showing you a highlighted portion where this material is going to get applied. Now here I've already applied, so let's apply it here. When I click, this is yellow right now, and I'll click on create. I guess it already has a material. Let's apply it on a different part. Okay, so create and apply. Plastic underscore black. I hit on OK. I select the part. I click on OK. Now this part is highlighted, which means that that material is now applied to this particular part. And I see in this part there are also handles. So let's ignore that for now. We'll just focus on material application. So when I right click on my product, here I can see edit material appearance, duplicate and apply material, pick and apply or remove. Now I want to edit my material appearance, so I'll go on that. Now you see this is the name which I've already entered. This is the type. So from here also you can change your type. I will go with VS Basic PVR. You see base color, metallicness, roughness. You go into a sheen, flakes, coating, volume, emission, and advance. Now it sounds very difficult, but it is very easy. Now I want my plastic to be black. I will click on base color, which will give me this parameter selection for color. And you see it is real time reflecting into my product. So I want it to be pitch black. So I come here and drop down. So is plastic metallic? No. So if I increase, it will look like this. Now our plastic is not metallic, so I'll keep it at 0. But it is up to you. You can see how it is reflecting on your materials. Now metallicness will also give some kind of roughness and pitchness to my product. So I can increase it by some values just to give that feel. You can see it here on the model, and also you have a little preview dialog box. If you don't want to get confused, you can close it. So it is just like a drop down. You can close it and only see how it is reflecting on your model. I hope by now you know what are the controls. When you click on a scroll button of the mouse, you can pan. When you click on the scroll button and right side button, you can move or rotate, wander around. And when you leave it and just click on scroll button and move your mouse, you can zoom in or zoom out. That is pan in or pan out in your product. So now I also want some roughness because my plastic is not that shiny plastic which I want to be. So I will play with roughness value. You see how it is affecting to my material. So I am just giving you an example how to edit your material. It is up to you how you want to showcase. So previously you see the geometry was this green color. And I've already applied some tire material. So you see the difference, how material will make difference in your product. Now I'll just hit Control C, which will show me my original material. So this is how I had created few materials and applied. You have to do this on the major parts of your product, which are visibly active in your scene, such as for my scooter, it is my handle, my brake, some wheels and nuts here over the tire, my tire material. So here, if you check my tire material, I did some texture adding. So you see the small creases on my tire. So when I go into this section, that is texture chooser, I have added some textures such as base color. I want it to be black. Now you can control it with the color, as well as here you can just download materials. At the end, I can share you a link. So if you go on Google or any browser that you use, online browser, you can select few materials which you want. You can download them. It will give you different maps. So this is my normal map. What is normals? It is just, it will give a kind of texture to my material or some kind of height to my material. And here I've added few materials. If you want, we can also do this in detail later. You can ask in your community that I want also such realistic materials. Now, because everybody won't be able to do it or won't be interested also to do it, so I'll not mention it in detail. But this is how you can control. You can ask for it. We can also share you a separate tutorial on how to control your materials to look realistic. So this is how I will play with multiple parameters to make my material or to achieve my material as I want it to be. Now, suppose I have two tires. So, I do have two tires in my e-scooter, and I want to reflect the same material on my rear tire. This is my front and this is my rear tire. So, do I create it again? No, not needed. You can just pick and apply. So, I will hit on pick and apply. I'll select this material. You see with my cursor, there's also material symbol, which means that it is now selected your material. And I will click on any part which I wanted to get applied. So this is how you duplicate your material, not needed to recreate everything again. But if you follow your naming convention, this will be much easier procedure. So you can already find your material in a scene tree. Here you see all the materials I had created: plastic, red plastic, wheel nuts, plastic black. So different materials, because I wanted plastic, but I wanted different properties. So this is how I will create my materials. Now let's go back into our creative experience. And if you notice, whatever I will do in my rendering scene design by Katia will automatically reflect to 3D Excite creative experience. This is how real-time material application will work. Now my material application is done. So material application will take most of your time, because you need to learn about your product well before applying your materials. You need to visualize your product, how it is going to look, and what materials do I want. Now this is the particular blue which I wanted to my handles. So that is how I went on to my browser. I took its RGB color code, and I applied it to its base color. I can show you that quickly. So do render scene design where you go into edit material appearance. So see, for base color, if you have, okay, it crashed. Give me a moment, I'll load it again. So okay, this will also show you how to start with opening of your application. So the best thing is you can restore your previous scene, or you can start with a new session. I want to restore my previous scene because I've already worked on it. It will show you what was the user, what were the credentials. Okay, so I'm back with my creative experience. Now I feel this object is very disturbing with this grid and planes. I will just go into my viewer. I will turn off grid. Path, point and light and cameras is something which is needed. So you see now how smooth the scene looks. So you're talking about albedo, you can go into rendering scene design, and while choosing your color palette, you can enter the expected RGB code for your value. So let's start. We are done with material application. I have applied material on major of my visual parts and important parts. So now let's start with camera. Now in our camera section, you have create camera. You have multiple types: camera, orbital camera, pre-camera, first person camera, third person camera, and a look around camera. So it is not possible in 1 hour session to go with all the cameras possible. What you can do is, once all of your material application is done, you can start using multiple cameras and see what exactly they behave with your product. I will create a basic camera. I will go to its properties, and I will change its name to angle 1. I want this to be my angle 1. I'll just move my product. So here you have multiple properties to also use with your camera. You can close it. And now suppose I did my product like this, but now I want my angle 1 camera to focus only on my handle part. So you can zoom in to your view which you want to convey. Now I feel this is a better look, or I want it to look like this. What I can do, I can right click on my angle 1 camera and apply my current view. So now whenever I'll hit on camera angle 1, this will pop up. And if now my camera is set, I am somewhere else because I was checking on my materials and I was not sure something went wrong and I wanted to check. But now I want to go back to my camera angle 1. I'll just right click and I will go to my camera. Why is it not working? Okay, so today it is not working, but you will get shifted back to this view which you wanted. I want this view. I will just go on my camera and apply my current view to the camera. So same thing with lighting. When you go into storytelling assemble, you see there are multiple lighting options such as spotlight, point light, direction light, cylinder light, a disc light, rectangle light, and create sphere light. So as discussed in our last session, you can create a primitive such as these random materials or random cubes. On this cube, you can apply those random materials, random lights, and check how it works. Now, if I hit on create cube, it will show me where to create my cube. I have given its height, length, and breadth. So this is how it will create a cube. And now I can use my lightings to check how exactly it will work. But now I do have my product ready, so I will delete this. It was just to show you how it works. And this is how you can create some primitives. You have multiple options which you can use and you can play with lights. Let's start with some options. I will create a spotlight. Here is my light. I can just drag it to any angle I want. Now I want my light to be here. So you see how it light is reflecting on my tire because I'm zooming it on my multiple parts of my tire. If I want to highlight my tire, this is how I will set my light. You see the light. Now it's at the handle. Now it is on my scooter. You see the parts are getting highlighted. Now I have set up my light on my tire. I can also go and change its properties. See, want its intensity to be highest. You see how it is changing. You see how it is increasing your light intensity. I want my color to be blue or pink or red. This is how you can control it. You have your inner angle. You see how it is reflecting. Just focus on this tire. I'll just try to zoom in a bit. This is some very random light I've just put on to show, but take your time, place your light on your desired part. You see how the intensity will change how once I increase it. Light changing because my light is here and is focusing here on my tire. You can change your outer angle, your inner angle. So this is how light will work. Now it is very bad lighting, so it will take time. You just focus your lights wherever it is needed, and you can focus it with warm tone lights, with red tone lights, with some blue cool tone light, which will showcase your product better. So this is how spotlight will work. You can also work with different lights such as rectangle light. Now suppose if I create it. So if you ask me, rectangle light and spotlight is something I majorly use. Rectangular light if I want an overall light on my part, and spotlight if I want my particular. So you can apply multiple lights together in your scene. You can see your multiple lights. Now this is my rectangular light. Give it some time. It will showcase all its properties. So whenever you work with materials and lighting, patience is something which is needed, because to get your desired view or desired material or desired light, it will take some time. You do some permutation, combination, and some tries. So you see, this is my light. Now it is focusing exactly on my attire. I want its intensity to be very less. I can increase it from here. See how it is reflecting on my tire slowly. I'm increasing its intensity. Now it is covering my entire bike. So spotlight will so it's a name. You have to control a particular spot in your bike on your product. That is where you use spotlight. Rectangular light is a generic light. You can move it far away or close, very close. Now I changed my lighting. So you see how it is changing. And I want a blue cool tone to showcase my e-bike. So this is how I will control it. I want it in very less intensity. So you also have multiple options here to cast shadows or show your geometry. Show geometry, which allows you to show your camera, but it is something we hide generally because you don't want this icon popping in your scene. So I'll delete this. So this is how you create multiple cameras and multiple lights. Now let's start with behaviors. We do have 20 minutes left. Okay, let's start. So I want to add a behavior to my model, but I'll go to its add library. So you can write a new script, but we also have some predefined behaviors in our library, such as explode, motion, open, close, rotate, follow mouse, imitate. So it is not much to explain because its name itself will explain you what this behavior will do. So you see boat controller, car controller. So these features are very cool once you start using them. Now suppose this is my bike, it has tires. It is similar to a car, so I'll go with car controller. I'll just add and you have multiple properties to control. So let's start with the very basic, which is explode. I will add this property. You can also see it in your properties. Here you have explode already added. Now, explode means what? Your particular part will get exploded into its multiple parts. Now, with direction, which side you want it to be exploded, here you can control your axis. Here you can control impacted objects. How you want to control it on a mouse click, on a key press, or no activation mode. And center of your explode. So I don't have anything particular with me right now. So I've just added explode. And now how can you use it? I will go into my storytelling. I will create a scenario, a local scenario. When I open, you see a scenario editor. Let's close properties for now. Take a scenario editor here. And now I want, it is a very natural language which we use to write as scripts. I'll just rotate my product a bit so that my product is also visible. Now, how do we control it? It is very natural language. It is the way you will talk to your friend. So each time Act 1 is active, this is my Act 1. Now, what is my product name? Scoot. So I'll go to here. Scoot E explodes. So let's try if this works. I'll just minimize it. I'll play. It will go to the camera which I've already set up. You see, it is exploding. It is getting converted into multiple parts. So how do you play? In this compass, you have a small play button which will play your explode. And here you can exit. So I see it is exploding, but it is not the right angle. It is not the right way I want it to explode. So I'll exit. And I want this angle for my explosion. So I will apply my current view, or I want it to be much smaller so that in this angle it will explode. So I will apply my current view. I'll just delete this sentence. I'll create a new one. Each time Act 1 is active, I will go to my camera. Angle 1 becomes current. So every time my act is active, this angle will become current. And my scooter, that is Scoot E master model, explode. Okay, let's see if this works. I want to check how it works. I will go and hit play. See, the angle is now defined, but it's going the other way. I want it to come to my right side. So now I know the camera works. I just have to do some tweaks. I'll just exit. I'll go into this properties. Now I want to control. So it was going on the left side. Now I want it to come to my right side. So I know that is X direction. So this will be minus X. So I've changed it here. I want it to be one side correct. Both sides is something, half parts will come here and half parts will go there. That is not something which is desired. So I've changed a basic tweak here, and let's just close it for now. I'll take my scene at the very bottom and let's hit on play. So you see, now this is what I have desired for my explode to be. But now you see it has gone very far. It is not in my view. So I'll come back, I'll exit. So this is a fun part to do, right? You have your imagination. There is no one else to guide you. It is all up to your imagination. Now I want it to explode, but not so much. So distance factor is something which will control. I'll just do 2. And how many seconds? With this will also control your speed. Now I want it to be much faster. So in 3 seconds, it should come to distance factor of 2 in my minus x direction. Now let's hit on play and let's see what it does. You see, now all is in my frame and this is what I have desired. So what can you do is you can do it also with animation, but scripts is something which is easier. You can use the script and you can take a screenshot or do a render of this particular view, which you can also show. You can highlight your particular parts of your scooter or your product, and I can now show that, hey, my product has so many parts. It has a bell, it has a light, it has a handle. So what are its uses? What is this made up of? I can do just an arrow mark and write some information about it here. I can write, I'll just do a arrow mark, a highlight, and show what exactly this bell will do for my product. So this is how explode will explain your product better. Now we learned about explode. Let's do just one more behavior. I'll go into my properties. I'll remove explode. Here you see I have just closed explode, and I will add another behavior which is rotate. So let's add. And now I don't want my product at so corner because it is not explode now. So I'll just get it to this desired view, and I will apply my current view to my camera. So I have applied the current view. So now angle 1 is this. Previous, what was angle 1? It was the product what I was at the very top left corner. Now I want it to be at the center. So this is how you can play with one camera angle, or you can also create multiple camera angles, angle 1, angle 2, or you can also name it as angle 1 explode. So you know that that particular camera you're going only use for explode. So in scripting it will help. Now I will add, I've already added rotate. Now I want it to rotate into z direction. I wanted acceleration and maximum speed. Okay, let's check if this direction or this axis works. So I have to do some edit here. Each time I can do an act 2, or I can write another paragraph, but as I have deleted explode, I'll just edit this. Each time act 1 is active, angle 1 becomes current, and now my scooter, where is scooter? Now my scoot will. So with the behavior which you have added, you will have, now here it was explode and implode last time. But now as I've given it a property of rotation, it will show be rotates or stop rotating. So I can click on rotate. Now because my scene is inactive, there's an exclamation mark here. I'll click on rotate. Now see the exclamation mark is gone because my now act 1 paragraph is complete. So each time, so it is very easy. It is like how you're going to talk with your product, or how it is going to, you tell your friend that, hey, Ayush, now each time my act 1 is active, so and so angle camera will become my current, and it will start rotating. It is similar way you talk to your product. So I'll hit on play button, see if this works. So you see it is rotating, but my axis is not right. Of course, that direction is not something I want. So I'll come back, I'll exit. Now to again play with its properties. So I see if my Y direction works. You can also guess it from your direction here. You see Z direction, it started moving like this. Y direction, let's see how it works. And we will also check for X direction. Okay, so now my Y direction works. Now I'll just exit. I want its properties to, I want its speed to go much faster. So this is how I will increase. And suppose if you want it to move clockwise or anti-clockwise. So always when you tell your story, you have something in your mind. So this is how you can tweak it. And let's see if 6 speed works. So it is now moving in the opposite direction, but it is much faster. Okay, so no. So 6 will not work with my product. I will go again to my properties, and so this is your basic properties. And you see I have added a behavior of rotate. So I'll go to rotate, and I have decreased from 6 to 4. And now there is no acceleration as such to my product. So I will increase acceleration. So you all know what acceleration is. So I'll hit on play. Okay, so I feel this is something achievable. This is something I wanted to achieve. So now what I will do, I'll go on my screen recorder, any application which you use, so that it be Camtasia. So we generally use Camtasia to screen record. So if you're writing your presentation for your IDC, FDC, or even to explain it to your judges, you can just take a screen recording of this particular panel. You can just close it for now if you want. You can close this, you can close this. You can short your properties panel. So now only my product is visible. I'll turn on my screen recorder. I can also tweak some parts from here if I want my grid, if I don't want my grid. So now my scene is ready. I'll hit and play, and simultaneously I will record this particular, and this video you can add into your presentation. So you see here also you have something in rendering, where you can click an image or also take a video, but it is something which we are going to discuss in our third session. So for now, if you want to share with your friends that hey, I made a rotation of my product and I want it to be shared with you all to just get an approval, so I won't be rendering. I will just take a screen record, I'll hit and play, I'll record this rotation and I will send it to my friends that this is what I have done. Is it something which you approve of? If no, you can do some minor tweaks. Now, if you want to add interaction in your scene, you can also control all of this with buttons. So if you go to assemble, you have 2D button. I'll just create a 2D button. I want to change its name. I'll go to its properties and I will click on rotate. So it will do the same job, but now when you click on rotate, then and then only this object will rotate. So rotate, and so want this to be rotate, and dimensions, nothing specific. I'll just take it on my one corner. I can also play with its opacity. I want it to be the highest because it is part of my scene right now. And what else do I want to change? Nothing. Okay, so I'll close its properties. I'll go to my scenario, edit. Now I'll just delete this sentence. I'll write a new one. So each time act 1 is active, I want my angle 1 camera to become current, and scoot 1 rotates, or let's do some minor tweaks. Did sentence. So each time I'll go to my 2D button directly. Rotate is clicked, scoot will rotate. Okay, rotate is what? My button's name, and this is something which it is going to do. Now let's see if this works. Let's come back. I'll change its properties. So here also you can give some keys, R, X, Y, your keyboard keys. So I want no activation. Let's see if this works. See, I've clicked on rotate. It started recording. So this is what will make your product showcase better. Now I can add multiple buttons. I can give multiple images. Now I have my second button. Now why I'm renaming everything so particularly, you see here in 2D, you have all your 2D actors. Now if I don't name it as rotate, it will be just button 2D, button 2D, button 2D1, button 2D2. So it is something very confusing. So I will change it to stop, rotate. I will change also its label. So name is something which will appear in your scene tree. Oh, it is 2 right now. Let's do it. Stop. Stop, rotate. So this is something name which is going to appear in your scene tree. And here it is a label which is going to use. Stop, rotate. So now this makes my life easier. So I'll go into my script again. Each time rotate is clicked, this will rotate. And stop, rotate. Okay, let's do some changes. I'll do another paragraph. Each time stop, rotate is clicked, scoot E stops rotating. And I want my button to be anywhere. You can just drag it. I'll keep it here, or I'll just keep it down below rotate. Now let's see if this works. I've played my scene. Nothing is happening right now. I hit on rotate. Now it starts rotating. I click on stop rotate. It stops recording. I hit on rotate. It will start rotating. I click on stop rotate, it will stop rotating. You see how cool is it? You didn't have to do any JavaScripting or anything. You just controlled your entire scene with just two buttons and a very natural language scripting. Now it is not editable. You see, all these paragraphs are gray. I'm not able to change. Why? Because you are into your optimization mode. You just have to exit here and you exit. So this is just about implode and explode. It is your clean slate. It's up to your imagination. You can add your multiple behaviors. As we do have 5 minutes left, let's try if our car controller helps. Will car controller helps? It has only two wheels. Let's check. So I added car controller. I'll go to its properties. Now I remove rotate. You can also keep rotate, but I am just removing it for not to create any confusion. Okay, car controller. Front wheel. I do have my front wheel. What is this? You can pick an actor in 3D. I'll just click and I'll click this because this is my front tire, front left wheel. As I don't have right wheel, I'll just go with back left wheel
A
and
quick
I'll.
question, Pradnya.
Mhm.
Can you also select from scene tree instead of viewport? Is
Yeah,
it
you can
possible?
also select from scene tree. Just give me a second. You see, wherever you're clicking, it is getting activated. What's the scene? Just give me a moment. Hello. So yeah, sorry for the disturbance. So you see in my properties, I have selected my front camera and my rear camera. Sorry, front wheel and my left wheel. I can control my speed. Now, how I want to control it, I can use my buttons from my keyboard. You can use particular keys such as clear, enter. So this is nothing but keys on your keyboard. Now I want it to be up to move forward, down to come backward, left and right to move and brake. So when I hit on space, it will control. So let's see if this is working. I'll just go into my script. For now, I'll just disable my script right now. I'll go into my optimization mode. So you see, it is working. I'm just hitting some control keys on my keyboard. So it is moving. But right now, we have not given it particular access, so it won't work right now. And I hit on space, it has stopped. So
So
we
I
need to do
imagine,
some tweaks. Yeah.
so you selected the front tire as your wheel, but
Yeah.
not the centerpiece, so the
No.
alloy. That's why it's
Correct.
not rotating. But if you select it properly, then
Yes.
okay, understood.
So this was just a demo. You need to properly go and select your parts in your properties panel. So as I said, we only had few minutes, so I just gave a demo. But you have your time. You can select all your. So also from the drop down, you can select. We just missed out on this part. Also from the drop down, you can select the particular part which you want to get selected as the left wheel. So now because it's just selected on this black tire part, it was just moving. So you have to select your entire alloy as Ayush mentioned for your tire to move. So when I started this session, I mentioned this is something very cool work which you do. It is not tedious, it is not repetitive, it only needs your imagination power. So you have multiple behaviors which you can apply to your model. And if you're good into coding, you can also write an entirely new script. I just gave a random name, and this is how you start your scripting. Now, because I am a storyteller, I am not very much comfortable with coding. So your expert in your group, you can ask him that, hey, please write this script for me. I want my object to do so and so things. Now here you see there's some coding done. But if you feel this is difficult, just skip this part. Use your predefined libraries. And this is how basic creative experience, behavior, and scripting will work. As mentioned, if you want to render, now I do have my materials, I do have my lighting, and I do have my angle camera specific. I can just take a screenshot and add this into my presentation. Now I want my tire to get to be reflected in my presentation. It is something key feature of my part. So I'll just set up my camera. I'll take a screenshot. For now, if I want this particular angle, I want to show my rear wheel and its components. I'll set up a camera in this view. So you see all my materials. So see this gray part doesn't have any material, but this blue, this red plastic has material. You can already see the difference between with and without material parts. So as mentioned, you need to start with material application, which is a very basic step. You apply materials to your entire vehicle and then you start with such scriptings. So this was just 2D buttons. You have multiple options here. You can add an image if you already have. You can add an image button. So it will be an image, but it will be also clickable, such as these buttons. So if I have any image specific, I can go into its properties and I can just drag drop any desktop image. Now I wanted hello friends written and I have a 2D image with me already existing. So I can just go into my file explorer, just get the image here, drag and drop it here. So this will be something visible always in your scene. You can also write your scripts in similar manner. Now what we did was some basic scripting. You can write each time rotate is each time act 1 is active. I'm just giving an example, see if it works with your scene. Each time act 1 is active, rotate becomes visible. When I click rotate, or each time rotate is clicked, my object starts moving. So until this time, you can hide your buttons. So it will look much cool into your presentation. So each time rotate is clicked, rotate will become visible and your objects rotates. And each time stop rotate is clicked, it becomes active or it becomes visible. So you will have no buttons initially, but with your scripting you can also hide and unhide your buttons, your 2D images, or you can also create a 2D camera viewer which will help display your multiple products. And at the let's end it with a human. So you can create humans as mentioned in our comment section. I read it before. So I just click select a template. Okay, done. Oh, sorry, I did not select. Okay. So I'll just create a human. Okay. I want this man in my scene or this woman in my scene. I'll just click. I want a group of one, two, three, four, or five people, and I want few effects on my human. So I'll just click on. Okay, who do I want? I want this lady in my scene. I just click and I click done. It will take some time. It might also crash, but let's see. Okay, I had humans, but they disappeared. Let's check where are they. Do you see actors anywhere? Okay, let's create again. I'll just zoom out and check if there are somewhere. I want this lady. Okay. I guess they are added into scene, but somewhere zoomed out. And if you also have some existing human character, you can insert your existing human. Okay. Okay, now I have it. So I'll just place her here for now. I'll just rotate. Okay, done. Give it some time. I know we are 4 minutes past the session, but it is something very interesting. So let's just talk into it for 5 minutes. So I zoom out, I see she is here. Let's call her Pradnya. And now Pradnya is wandering somewhere. So I'll just click. I will rotate her. I'll get her into my scene. And if you go into its properties, you can also scale it up or scale it down. So I want to scale it down. Okay, it went negative. Or let's scale up product if it is much easier to do. So I'll go into my property. I'll just close this car controller for now. I will scale it according to human. No, I wanted 1.5. Does it look realistic? Realistic height, it looks much bigger right now. Yes, let's scale it down some more. I want it 1.1. Okay. I don't know why Pradnya is looking behind. Let's make her look towards the product. Now I'll just move and see if she is right behind side the scooter. You can also check it from multiple views. You see, this is how you can show the actual scaling also of your product. And now when you go into properties, you can also add a behavior, create posture. I want her hands to hold the handle of the scooter. So this is how I will control. I'll just take this hand. See, you can move it. Give me a moment. I'll just show. You see, you can move hands of a human. You can rotate, or also you have some predefined postures. I want her to be standing. I want her to stand like she's running with the scooter. No, she won't run. Okay, she is. Grab an object. You can select an object and she will grab that particular object. Now I want the eyesight. Okay, I don't want it to mirror, so I'll just remove symmetry. I guess she's standing very far away. Let's get her a little. No, the entire human. Okay, I'm out of the edit view now because I want her to get. Now again, I'll go and edit the posture. Now she is going to hold the handle. And now for hand, you also have some predefined properties. Mm. So you see, there are many multiple options. You see, sitting, you have crouching, you have lying down, you also have swimming. It's up to your product what human you want to use. Or she's also flying for some reason. Okay, I want her to be standing. I want her hand near the scooter. And now I can also go and edit her fingers properties. I want this holding to my. Okay, it is not moving so much. It's not possible for her. Okay. You see, her hand is vertical right now, but is holding. I can change it a bit. And this is some quick work which I've done, but you give it some time and do it properly. Okay, so this is some just basic work that I've done. I want her hand. Looks like she's doing yoga. Wait a second. Okay, so this is how I want her to stand, and it is done. And this is how you can also play with humans. You can also give motion, but if you want to learn it into detail, you can put it in your community. We can also post a video with some examples. So with this, we are done with basics of creative experience, scripting, 2D buttons, your animations, your scaling, proportion, angles, how to select particular angle, and how to build up your scene. So I hope this was interesting.
Indeed. Thank you so much, Pradnya. But I would still like to take just 1 minute
Mhm.
for all the students because what we did today was something in detail. But if you want to still have a look, we have a video that you can take a look. I'm just gonna share my screen how you can access the video. All right. So this is your student community or the participants community. And there is a pin post which you see here. If you open that, scroll down, you have a list of webinars and their recordings. And if you scroll down to the seventh session, which is from 17th of August. Oops. And now if you click on it, uh, here is the end-to-end workflow video, which is this one. And if you open this, so this also is the same thing that we looked in the session today, but the good thing is you can pause, play, and look at it in detail. It also has some information caption that you can read, and it will give you some more idea of how to apply materials. All of the behaviors that we did today are also included in here. So please go check, have a look, and I'll really want to see some questions from you guys when you are doing it. So for example, if you are doing this for your product, feel free to add a question in the community. We'll try to answer it, or maybe if you want, you can just ping us separately from the conversations. It's also okay. Or if you want, you can reach out to us via WhatsApp or LinkedIn channel. Everything works, but what we want is good. If you could show some things.
Yeah, Ayush, you can also share this particular link for the video here in
Mhm.
chat box so that you can copy.
Yes, I can actually. Uh,
So he's pasting it in our Zoom chat. Please copy on your notepad or the Word document, wherever you're storing all of your knowledge.
all right, I've pasted the link in the chat. Today, after the webinar, we'll also have the recording link pasted here. It shows register now, but then you'll have a recording once Suraj has processed it. So I hope this was a useful session. Thank you so much, Pradnya, for taking us through all the details. It was really in depth. But if you have any questions, today we didn't had too much time to take a look at the question and for the question and answer. But you have multiple channels through community, LinkedIn or WhatsApp to reach out to us, and we'll try to answer your queries.
Okay, thank you so much, Pradnya, and thank you so much, Ayush, for your insightful session. Uh, we have two questions in our Q&A session.
Mm-hmm.
I would like you to answer these two at least. Meanwhile, when we are answering the questions, I'll quickly launch a poll for all the participants about today's
Mm-hmm.
session, and they'll opt for the poll. And feel free to post any questions if you have in Q&A section for any of the students if they are facing any doubt or they have any questions in mind. So drop in the Q&A section. For now we will wait for more 5 minutes and then we will close the webinar. After that, if again you have any questions, don't hesitate to connect us via community or via any communication channel. I have launched the poll for all the student participants.
Yeah, so answer to those questions. So, from a human design app, can we make humans walk or sit? So, yes, you can. You see, there were two options, which were create human and use existing human. So, what I just did today was create a human and use it in my experience. But you can get the human exported from whatever app you're using. Check if its properties are matching. So, it is all up to your trial and test methods. Get it onto your platform. You see all if all the parts of human are visible. If you have some broken geometries or you have to rework with them, and you can just insert your existing humans. So to answer that question, I just see one question right now.
I already answered the second one, which was
Ah, okay.
about exporting from SolidWorks. We already covered that in our first session and also in the end-to-end video. So I've added a link.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so
So
much, Pradnya and Ayush, for
yeah,
answering these questions. Meanwhile, as the poll is live for more 4 minutes, so I would like to ask students to opt for the poll. And meanwhile, if you have any questions, feel free to drop in the Q&A section.
you're not able to copy the link posted in the chat box. Ayush, can you reshare?
Yes, but it's already there. I can see it. Maybe I did again. If you can't copy it, I hope you still have access to the community. So if you go to the pinned post from the community, you will have those links again. So feel free to go and reach out there as well. But I'll put it in the chat again.
So if you ask me about animated humans, can we also add and animate humans in SolidWorks or only in creative experience? So it is better to do in creative experience. There you can have some more controls. Ayush, you can answer better about SolidWorks.
In SolidWorks, there isn't any option that where you can import a human and adjust the f- the body phys the the physics, but because it's
Mm-hmm.
a purely CAD design software,
Yeah.
not a experience creation software. That's why it's best that you design your product in SolidWorks, export and put it in 3D Experience platform, and use Creative Experience app to do this. And the reason is because, as you see on Creative Experience, it's much more natural language and visual scripting, visual adjustment. So you don't have to go much technical. Anyone in your team, if he's responsible for creating your marketing content or visualization content, irrespective of knowledge of CAD, they can just do it manually, visually in the Creative Experience app. It's more user friendly in here. And also, for example, even if you do it in another software outside Creative Experience, every time you have to make changes, you have to go back in that software, do the changes, export and import again in the Creative Experience app. So it's a long loop of export import again. So if you do it in Creative Experience, it's much faster.
And as mentioned before, it is all up to your trial and error. Entire procedure that we did today won't be able to do it in just 1 hour or 2 hour. Give it some dedicated time. Open your product. Start with the very basics and don't be scared of any new application. It is just an application which you are using to showcase your product.
We see another question, is animation compulsory? So you must have already received your template for IDC submission and also similarly for the final design submission. And in those template, you will see there are certain slides where you have to insert your product visualization. It could be images, it could be a product video, meaning you have points and marks for everything. So if you add a video, you'll get more marks. At the same time, when you are video, you can shoot a video of your product if you have a prototype, and you can create animations using Creative Experience application. But keep in mind, you have to impress your jury or the judges that are going to look at your product through your presentations. Now, the more intuitive, more creative you are in the product showcase using different applications like we saw today, it will grab their attention. It will help them understand more your product, and it's like selling something to someone. And if you are more creative, it will just give you an edge over others. So it's not mandatory to use animation in Creative Experience. You can use different channels or anything, but keeping in mind that you have to get more visibility, it's good to do.
When to add which video is prototype necessary, and we are making a prototype, but some parts are yet to come till November. What to do? So, Suraj, I guess you can answer them better. There are two questions right now.
Yes, yes. For adding a page video, so page video needs to be added in the FDC submission. While regarding the prototype, so prototype is not a necessary thing because we are not making compulsion on creating or manufacturing a prototype. However, if you want to make a prototype, you can make it. And I will strictly again inform everyone that we don't have any separate marking for prototypes. So if students are willing to do, they can do it. However, every year student manufacture or prepare their prototypes. Another is we are making prototype, but some parts are yet to come till November. So yes, again, it's not a compulsion or there are no any marks for prototyping. So it's all up to you. If you want to prepare a prototype, you can prepare it. And if you have not prepared it, no issues. Our scoring will be based on your design only.
And
Design
use
and what
creative
you,
experience.
yes, and your creative experience.
So don't have your prototype. Use your 3D model because you're already building it. Get into creative experience. Create basic animations.
What to do in research findings means there are sections of images to add exactly. Research finding means regarding if you're asking in terms of IDC. So yes, whatever the idea or the problem statement which you have selected for addressing your solution. So whatever the research you have did to select that idea or to reach out to that particular problem. So for that, whatever the research you have done, so that things you need to mention in your IDC submission. Okay, so we have one more for our design. We have come electronic parts. Can we design it? For example, PCB cables, wire, etc. So if there are some standard products, so we have some standard design libraries as well available. You can directly import that product from that library if they are the standard product like PCBs or any particular motors or cables like that. And if there is some customized thing, then you can design it.
So I guess Suraj, the poll has already ended.
Yes. I can see only half of the participants have opted for the poll. I urge the rest of the team to quickly finish the poll so that we can end the poll and finish the web today's webinar. Okay, we have questions regarding that, but for cables, length, movement, etc. Okay, just connect us on a swim community or over a mail. We will help you out on a separate session with this. Okay, I'm going to end the poll for now. And thank you so much, Pradnya. Thank you so much, Ayush, again for presenting and helping students in improving their knowledge on creative experience, 3D experience, creative experience. I definitely believe students will use this knowledge and implement these things in their final submissions and their designs. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining and attending today's webinar about creative experience. So, stay tuned on the community. We will post further updates on upcoming webinars or any upcoming topics over there. So, keep designing, keep innovating. Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye bye.
you. Thank
Bye
you,
bye.
Suraj. Thank you,
Thank
Ayush.
you. Bye
Thank you,
bye.
participants. Bye bye.